Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, February 1st at 2:05 p.m. and we are here for the Commission's regularly scheduled business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. Joining us via telephone is Commissioner Thomas and Commissioner Irvin. Present in the hearing room are Commissioners Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Carolee Williams, Commissioner Caston, and Chair Belser. Before we begin our agenda for this week, I invite you to join me for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair Powers, and Commissioners. First item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled Commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next business meeting be set for Thursday, February the 8th, 2024 at 2:00 p.m.
We will schedule our next meeting for next Thursday, February 8, 2024 at 2 p.m.
Thank you. Today we have 9 items on the utilities agenda and just 3 items on our transportation agenda. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-154E. This is a motion from Santee Cooper to strike portions of PA Consulting Group Incorporated's independent review of Santee Cooper's 2023 Integrated Resource Plan.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 1 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you, ma'am. I move the commission set this motion for oral argument at the start of the hearing scheduled to resume on February 5th, 2024 at 10 a.m. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belser, I would like to say that at that time, I think it's a good time for oral arguments at the start of the hearing. PA Consulting Group, who the motion to strike their testimony, they haven't submitted anything as of today in response to the motion to strike. And I do feel we sit here as judges, we can consider the weight of things, and once we hear their respective positions, could either rule from the bench or in the final order. Once we've got it all in front of us, I just don't think we have it all in front of us to make that decision today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
The chair votes aye, and the motion carries.
Madam Chair, item number 2 on the agenda was removed. So moving on to item number 3, which appears in dockets numbered 2018-320E and 2022-326E. This is a motion from the Clean Energy Buyers Association to withdraw Jamie H. Golden, Esquire, as counsel of record and to substitute Elizabeth Haskins, Esquire, as counsel of record.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 3 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the Commission grant the motion of the Clean Energy Buyers Association requesting the withdrawal of Attorney James H. Golden as counsel of record and the substitution of Attorney Elizabeth Haskins as a counsel of record in this docket. Clerk is directed to change and update the service list for these dockets to reflect this change. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioner, would you accept a friendly amendment? Mr. Golden's name is Jamie, not James.
Yes, Madam Chair, I would.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Without objection, we'll make that friendly amendment. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion passes.
Item number 4 is in dockets numbered 2023-8E and 2023-10E. This also is a motion from the Clean Energy Buyers Association to withdraw Jamie H. Golden Esquire as counsel of record.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 4, is there a motion? Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the motion of the Clean Energy Buyers Association requesting the withdrawal of Attorney Jamie H. Golden as counsel of record, and the clerk is directed to change and update the service list for these dockets to reflect this change. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Chair Belzer,
I'm sorry.
I'd like to vote aye
Commissioner
as
C.
well.
Williams. My apologies.
Thank you.
Votes aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 5 is in docket number 2021-114E. This is a verified motion from Orangeburg Solar Project LLC to rescind in part and amend in part Commission Order number 2022-190.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 5 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Chair Belzer. This matter comes before the Commission on the verified motion of Orangeburg County Solar LLC requesting that the Commission rescind in part and amend in part Order Number 2022-190, which was issued on March 18th, 2022. The docket originally came before the Commission on a petition for a declaratory order with verification filed by Orangeburg County Solar Project LLC and Orangeburg South Solar Project LLC, both wholly owned subsidiaries of Savignon LLC. Orangeburg County Solar LLC states now that its request is based upon changed circumstances to the design and ownership of the facility since Order Number 2022-190 was issued, as well as the Commission's decision on Order Number 2023-402 issued in docket number 2023-19-E. Subsequent to the issuance of Order Number 2022-90 in this docket, the project addressed by that order has undergone significant changes. These changes include 1, a change in ownership of the Orangeburg County Solar Project, and 2, a change in how and where the project will interconnect. The Orangeburg County Solar Project that is the subject of this request was purchased by Pinegate Renewables in June 2023. The Orangeburg South Solar Project remains a project owned by Savignon LLC. As for changes related to the interconnection of the project, Orangeburg County Solar Project canceled the previous interconnection agreement with Santee Cooper and will now interconnect with the transmission system of Dominion Energy South Carolina, or Dominion. The new point of interconnection necessitated redesigned interconnection facilities and upgrades to interconnect the project to Dominion's St. George Wateree 230 kilovolt transmission line instead of Santee Cooper's Cross Aiken 230 kilovolt transmission line. In Order Number 2023-402, in docket number 2023-19E, the Commission determined that an 85-foot segment of a 230 kilovolt conductor connecting a substation being constructed by a solar developer to an adjacent switching station being constructed by Dominion was not a transmission line and did not meet the definition of a major utility facility under the Siting Act and did not require Siting Act review. Orangeburg County Solar LLC submits that the 230 kilovolt conductor segment to be constructed at the redesigned Orangeburg County Solar Project is functionally indistinguishable from the conductor segment addressed by Order Number 2023-402. Specifically, Orangeburg County Solar LLC offers that, as with the determinations in Order Number 2023-402, the conductor segment in the redesigned project serves as a substation bus connecting the project substation to the utility switching station. that it is unsupported by any additional infrastructure that would be expected in traditional transmission lines that are capable of transmitting large quantities of electricity over long distances. That it is located entirely within the boundaries of the projects and the utilities facilities, and that construction will be completed by Dominion under the terms of the project's interconnection agreement and will be paid for entirely by the interconnection customer. Dominion filed a letter stating it takes no position on this matter. On January 5th, 2024, the Office of Regulatory Staff filed a letter stating it did not object to the motion of Orangeburg County Solar LLC, provided that Orangeburg Solar LLC submit to ORS a substation single line diagram signed and stamped by a registered professional engineer. ORS further recommended that Orangeburg County Solar LLC provide updates to the Commission and ORS regarding any changes to data or documents provided in discovery or any changes related to design and construction of the solar project. By letter dated January 16, 2024, ORS advised the Commission that Orangeburg County Solar LLC had provided ORS with a substation single line diagram signed and stamped by a registered professional engineer. I move that the Commission grant Orangeburg County Solar LLC's request, number 1, to rescind ordering paragraphs 2 and 3 of order number 2022-190 as those paragraphs pertain to Orangeburg County Solar, and find that the 85-foot conductor segment linking the interconnection facilities at the Orangeburg County Solar facility to Dominion's interconnection facilities is not a major utility facility under the Siting Act. A full order on this matter will be issued, and I further move that Orangeburg County Solar LLC submit for consideration a proposed order within 10 days of the date of this directive. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Carolee Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I did not participate in the original hearing on this matter as I was on leave, and I will not be voting on this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Justin Williams. We'll note that you are not voting on this matter. Any further discussion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Thomas.
Commissioner Thomas, you're recognized.
I may have misheard, but I believe that order number 2022-190 may have been misstated at one point early on. So to the extent that that clarification is needed, it should be order 2022-190, not 90. That's all.
I accept that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for being a good listener.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Anything further? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams not voting. Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is in dockets number 2025-15E, 2025-16E, and 2025-17E. This item involves issuing a request for proposal regarding the 2025 avoided cost proceedings for Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, Duke Energy Progress LLC, and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 6 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
thank you. I move that the Commission instruct staff to issue a request for proposal for consultants and experts for the 2025 avoided cost proceedings to be filed by Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, and Duke Energy Progress LLC as required by statute. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 7 is in docket number 2023-409E, which involves a request for approval of a contract for electric service between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Scout Motors Incorporated.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 7 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission approve the contract for electric service between Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc. and Scout Motors, Inc. Dominion Energy states in its letter dated December 20th, 2023, that Dominion Energy will invest significant capital in new distribution and transmission facilities to provide the projected up to approximately 110 to 114.5 megawatts when both Phase 1 and Phase 2 commence operation. Additionally, Dominion Energy states that approval of the contract does not require a determination of Dominion Energy's entire rate structure or its overall rate of return or result in a rate case. The Office of Regulatory Staff has filed comments concerning its review of the contract for electric service between Dominion Energy and Scout Motors following review of the discovery request issued to and answered by Dominion Energy. ORS states that it does not object to the approval of the contract as requested by Dominion Energy and Scout Motors. In approving this contract, the Commission notes the following key points which are set out in the Office of Regulatory Staff's letter of no objection. First, that Dominion Energy will invest significant capital in new distribution and transmission facilities to provide the requested electric service required by Scout Motors. Second, the contract requires Scout Motors to pay an annual minimum charge for service based on Dominion Energy's cost to serve estimates under the contract. Third and finally, that in the event Scout Motors terminates the contract prior to the expiration of the initial term, Scout Motors will be responsible for paying an early termination charge. Both Dominion Energy and the Office of Regulatory Staff have acknowledged compliance with Section 3 of Act 220 of 2022. I also move that the Commission find that the right to fully examine the associated cost, accounting treatment, and project activities for reasonableness and prudency during the future appropriate cost recovery proceedings is reserved for Dominion Energy, the Office of Regulatory Staff, and any intervening parties of record, along with the Commission. The Commission finds and holds that full discretion is reserved for Dominion Energy, the Office of Regulatory Staff, and any intervening parties of record to make recommendations concerning the rate-making treatment of the contract in future appropriate cost recovery proceedings. Finally, I move that the Commission grant the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the contract between Dominion Energy and Scout Motors due to the commercially sensitive and proprietary nature of certain provisions within the contract. The release of such confidential provisions is barred from disclosure under the Freedom of Information Act. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 is in dockets number 2018-321E and 2018-322E. This is a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC that the Commission, 1, stay the decision not to extend the company's DC fast charging programs, and 2, reconsider either A, to allow the companies to provide any additional information the Commission requires to make a final decision with the ability for interveners to respond, or B, to allow the companies 180 days to wind down the programs so that the impact on customers and drivers is minimized.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 8 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
After thorough review, the request for reconsideration filed by Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, collectively the Duke companies, I move that the Commission grant the Duke companies' request for reconsideration and extend the Duke companies' DC fast charging programs for 12 months, nunc pro tunc. The Commission finds that collecting additional data regarding usage and associated grid impacts of the Duke company's DC fast chargers will capture invaluable information that would otherwise be lost if the pilot programs were to end abruptly. Extending the pilot also allows the Duke companies the opportunity, but for COVID-19 and supply chain issues, to maximize charger revenue from usage and charger sales to buyers. Maximizing charger usage revenue and charger sales benefit payers by reducing the amount they pay for the pilot program. As the capital investments associated with the Duke company's DC fast charging programs have already been made, and given the nominal operation and maintenance expenses necessary to continue the programs, the anticipated learnings from the continuing the program is in the interest of the Duke companies and their customers. I further move that the Duke companies are to provide the Commission and the Office of Regulatory Staff a report in 180 days. This report should address the actual operations and maintenance expenses incurred during that time and learnings gleaned by the Duke companies regarding customer usage and the associated grid impacts. Should the Duke companies wish to seek further extension of the DC fast charging program, such a request should be made in the report to give the Commission and the Office of Regulatory Staff sufficient time to weigh further any decisions on continuing the programs. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belser?
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. First, I just want to say, kind of as an editorial comment after doing this for a little over 3.5 years, for anybody watching who hears us say I, that's not a reflection of what we put into this decision to say I. And there's a lot of research into and reviewing of all the materials that are in the file, and a lot of consternation and a lot of legal advice that lead us to say what we say. That aside, in this particular motion, I'm going to support your motion, Commissioner Caston, and I feel a little compelled just to say succinctly why I'm doing that. And what I note in Duke's January 12th letter asking us to reconsider is that they comment that continuing the program is in the best interest of the customer, or the interest of the customer. And you've outlined in your motion why that is the case. The other note that I've reflected on is the fact that the Public Service Commission has the opportunity to evaluate whether these funds were prudently and reasonably expended when rate cases come to us. And so that's another time for us to look at the cost associated with it, which was one of the reasons that caused me to vote the way I voted the first time around. So I do support your reconsideration.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioner Caston, if I could seek a clarification, you were moving that the Duke companies provide a report within 180 days to address operation and maintenance expenses and any learnings gleaned or obtained by the Duke companies. I think you stated that if the Duke companies seek further extension, such a request should be made. I thought you said in a report. Are you talking about that it should be made in the report that is due in 180 days?
Yeah, yes,
okay.
Madam
I just
Chair.
wanted to clarify that would be in that report.
Words mean things. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion, Commissioners? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
I vote aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 appears in docket number 2024-33E. This is a request for acceptance for filing of the Renewable Power Purchase Agreement between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Catalina Solar LLC, along with a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 9, is there a motion?
Chair,
Vice Chair Powers,
I'm sorry, I missed my button there. I move the commission accept for filing the renewal power purchase agreement between Catalina Solar LLC and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, which was jointly filed by the parties with the commission. The commission accepts the renewal power purchase power agreement for filing because the terms of the agreement comply with the intent of the Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act of 1978, known as PURPA, and the provisions of Commission Orders Numbers 81-214 and 85-347. So move.
Vice Chair, just a point of inquiry, do you also wish to address the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement?
I think that would be proper, and would ask that be added.
Thank you. Any objection to the friendly amendment to grant confidential treatment of those portions of the exhibit? Hearing none, we'll amend the motion accordingly. Commissioners, we've heard the amended motion from Commissioner Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I'm sorry, I'm backing. Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
You're just making us think.
Yeah.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, in Part A, we have 3 requests for new Class C certificates. Item A1 appears in docket number 2024-25T, which is the application of DMB Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A2 is in docket number 2024-26T, which is an application from CC and Mel Hauling LLC for a Class C charter certificate. And item A3 appears in docket number 2024-29T. This is the application of Joni LLC for a Class C taxi certificate.
Commissioners, we've heard the agenda items in the transportation agenda as contained in Section A, new applications, identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Bell, sir, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
I move the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates in items number A1 through A3 as listed by Professor Scarborough.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. As that concludes the business of the commission noticed for today, I will again announce that our next commission business meeting will be next Thursday, February 8th at 2 p.m. And with that, we are adjourned. Everyone have a good afternoon. Thank you.